What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. In today's video, we're going to be doing our match preview and selecting our starting 11 ahead of the Ireland-Azerbaijan game at the Aviva Stadium tomorrow evening. I'm joined today by Socko, and we're actually filming this the day after the Portugal game, so we'll touch on that one quickly. Obviously, we did our reaction stream straight after the game, 40 minutes long, was me, Socko, and Griff. So make sure to go check that out if you haven't done it so already. Had a good chat, and it was kind of the raw emotions after full time. So it was good to kind of rant and get our feelings off our chest. But Socko, so I have to start by asking you how are you feeling after last night?
Yeah, a mixture between like so proud of the performance and like what might have been so close to getting a result, like equalising in the 89th minute.
Yeah.
And then the 96th minute, Ronaldo's winner. But I think start to finish, every single player put a shift in. We said it last night, but Gavin Bazunu, 19 years of age, saving the penalty against Ronaldo. Bamidele, 19 as well, coming in off the bench, did not look out of place in that back three centre backs. Thought midfield did quite well, and Conley and Ida ran their socks off up front. We said last night, but could not have asked for any more from the lads last night.
At the end of the day, we played so well, but it was kind of two pieces of individual brilliance that did win it for them in the end. I think Stephen Kenny said something like no other player in the world scores that header in the 95th minute other than Ronaldo. Like, it was an unbelievable header. Like, you sometimes, like, it's so gutting, but like sometimes you have to say, like, there's actually nothing we could have done there, really, apart from, I think it was the first goal. McLean could have maybe closed down a little bit better, stopped the cross coming in. That's probably the two crosses coming into the box late on is something that maybe Kenny will look at and be disappointed by, but you can't question one man in that squad for their desire and commitment.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like two pretty much identical goals, like bottom right corner, two balls in from the side. McLean kind of got done, but like it was individual class, just won it at the end of the day. Like every player, Doherty, Coleman, like every player last night, like made a mistake. It's going to happen in football. Gavin couldn't have done anything about the two goals, like world class. And yeah, it was funny what Kenny said. He said no other player in the world scores that type of header. So no other option than just dust ourselves down. And they trained this morning. I think they fly back this evening, Thursday evening as we're recording. So they'll train tomorrow and then 5 o'clock Saturday.
Yeah. As you're saying, 5 o'clock Saturday, obviously we're playing at home to Azerbaijan. We'll move on to that. Well, look, first of all, at the visitors, they are coming into this game similar to us in terms of they've picked up 0 points from their opening 3 games. They lost 2-1 to Luxembourg. On the same night we lost to Portugal. They lost previously to Portugal 1-0 and to Serbia. I think it was 2-1 to Serbia as well. So they aren't getting rolled over. Like, they're not being smashed by anyone. It's all tight games, and they're putting up a good fight against each side. So it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. How are you kind of feeling going into this one?
A mixture of like excitement and a little bit of nerves. It feels like we've said it every single Ireland game now for the last year, but like, it's massive, and it really is a must win. You're just hoping, like, we put in a really good performance versus Serbia last March, came out with a 3-2 loss, and confidence was good coming into that. Good performance. A lot of young lads got minutes in, and everything fell apart against Luxembourg. So on the one hand, savage performance versus Portugal, you want to take that into Saturday, but the exact same thing happened last March and it absolutely nosedived. So you're just hoping for different reaction from the players now, for them to keep their heads held high. I think hopefully, it might be a cliche, but the fans back in the stadium will be huge. Hopefully 25,000 fans. Stephen Kenny's first as Ireland manager with fans, home fans in the stadium. You could argue that the Portugal performance will be pretty much meaningless if we don't follow that up with a good performance on Saturday. These type of games, Azerbaijan, you need to be getting results from them, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you sent me over some notes previously before we started filming. I think they're 112th in the world. I think they've only won one win in their last 13 games, won one of 26 away qualifiers. Like, it is it is a game that you'd look at and think this is kind of the perfect rebound from that disappointing loss against Portugal. And it is kind of the mindset of the players is something that maybe is a concern in terms of they gave so much in that Portugal game. They're going to be mentally drained. That they're going to be able to get back on it and refocus. It seems like it's all positive things coming out of the camp on Twitter, etc. But I think it is a challenge mentally even to get back on the next game after such a devastating blow. How much of a challenge do you think that's going to be for the players? Do you think it's going to be one that maybe it might take us a while to get into the game initially?
Possibly. We've seen that a few times on the team, Kenny. Like it does kind of take 10 or 20 minutes to find our feet. We started pretty well against Portugal, but there's no denying it's a massive challenge. They'll all be saying the right things. You're always going to get the for want of a better word, like good vibes or like good PR from Twitter or stuff like that. Like keep the heads held high and look forward to Saturday. But the only way you're going to know is once the whistle is blown.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes in, if you see, oh, we're on it now, or if it takes us 20 minutes to get into the game. So yeah, there's, as I said, two ways of looking at it. It's a massively encouraging to bring that performance in Saturday, but kind of in the back of your mind, you're like, the exact same thing happened last March. So we're just hoping for not the same result as we had against Luxembourg. Yeah, it's a huge challenge, but one that hopefully they'll relish. Qualifications probably pretty much non-existent at the moment. So for the remainder of the campaign, and it's going to be huge if Stephen Kenny is to get his time will end his contract's only up at the end of this qualification period. So if he gets the next Euros, it's these type of games. There's two now. I think 2 in October, 2 in November. There's 5 or 6 games to keep his job, you know.
Yeah, no, it's going to be 2 massive games this and Tuesday night. Of course, we'll be doing some stuff, some previews and starting 11s, etc. Heading into Tuesday night as well. We're actually going into the game, so we might do maybe a vlog or something like that at the game on Tuesday night. But just focusing on this Azerbaijan game, of course, first of all, in terms of starting 11, I think you mentioned the Luxembourg game there a minute ago. We kind of went and had a really positive performance in that Serbia game. We were kind of discussing it in the like reaction after the game, and I think you think we should stick with the back 5 heading into this one.
Yeah, I really like us in the back 5 with the wing backs. We had a lot of joy against Portugal. Matt Doherty and Seamus Coleman kind of getting up the pitch, and they definitely have the legs to get back then and defend. But the more I think about it, the Azerbaijan game, it's going to be a totally different game. We're going to enjoy so much more possession than we did on Wednesday. I think we only ended up with like 32% possession against Portugal. So we did very, very well without the majority of the possession versus Portugal. This can be totally different. We're going to have the majority of possession. We're going to have time and space on the ball, get it up to the midfield, and do we have them players to just unlock the door, turn the key, and create chances? I think you were possibly saying, will we go to back 4? Gives us maybe another option in the front line. Maybe put someone in the 10. How do you feel it's going to go yourself?
Yeah, I personally just think in terms of we're going to be playing against the low block, trying to get as many kind of creative players onto the pitch as we can would be the ideal for me. I think we need to learn from that Luxembourg defeat. I think the 5 back works really well when we're going to be playing really deep and we're hitting things on the counter attack because it gives us that bit of protection. But I think in this type of game, I think we're better off. I don't think we need to be as cautious. I think we can try and approach it in more of a free-flowing manner. I think Stephen Kenny's ideal formation is a 4-back. We've seen it at Dundalk. Like he does prefer to have that 4-back formation. Now this is his ideal at the 21s, of course, as well. It is his ideal is to play maybe I think it's a 4-2-3-1 would be his dream. But obviously with the circumstances we're in and playing against top sides, the 5-back does work really well for us. So I think it is a case of if we can get like both formations working well and depends on the opposition. I think it'd be great if we can switch between them. I think the Andorra game was another example where we struggle against low blocks, trying to get these creative players onto the pitch. is crucial. I think we saw Jamie McGrath got the assist for John Egan's goal last night. He didn't start against Andorra. He didn't start against Luxembourg. I think we will get onto it, but I think he has to start on Saturday. For me, just players like that on the pitch, I think we need to break down a low block. I think we need players that can kind of get a yard of space and do something magical and just create stuff out of nothing. So yeah, I think maybe a 4-2-3-1 is the way he might approach it. But he could have seen the success from the Portugal game and stick with it. It is a difficult one to know, really, to be fair.
Yeah, there's good arguments for both. Like what I said, well, I hope makes sense. What you said there makes sense. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. If we do go to the back four, does that mean Omobamadiele's dropped after putting in a superb shift against Portugal? Kenny did say that against Portugal, Matt Doherty, he was looking to come off at one stage, and did McLean replace him, didn't he?
Yeah, I think McLean came on for a striker, I think.
For striker, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I can't remember.
He did say Doherty was ill throughout the game, which you wouldn't really notice until he said it. Coleman on the other flank. I think Cullen's another big one.
Yeah.
Question marks over Connolly. I think Ida should start. But yeah, it's kind of hard to know. Half of me is like, I'd expect us to stick with the formation, and half of me is like, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to be a bit more ambitious and kind of flood men forward against kind of lower opposition that's 60 odd places below us in the world rankings, you know.
If it was you in Kenny's shoes right now, what would you do?
Park the bus. No, I don't know. I've seen a lot of us in the back three, and that probably would be my preference. But
yeah,
there's no arguments going with the back four as well. I think you probably go with the back four, would you?
I probably would personally. Do you want to? So we'll start off obviously in goal. I think both of us, obviously Bazunu is a guarantee. I'll put our teams side by side on the screen. So you have the back five. I'll go with the back four. Just to have a various two different approaches that we could go with. I think we both agree Bazunu in goal. Had a fantastic game against Portugal. It's a moment to remember for the rest of his life, is saving a Cristiano Ronaldo penalty as well. So absolutely delighted.
There's great moments. Sorry, Ronaldo come up to him at the end and like had a few words with him, gave him a handshake and stuff. He must have said, "Oh, why'd you have to save her?" or something like that. But yeah, so like 19 years of age, coming from Rovers over to City on loan now at Portsmouth. Like, hopefully that's us safe now for the next 15 years in nets.
Yeah. And we have Kelleher, who's a quality young goalkeeper coming through, Travers as well coming through. It's looking really, really good between the sticks for us. In terms of the back five, would you stick with the same back five? Obviously O'Shea coming out and Omobamadiele coming in. Apart from that, would you stick with the same back five?
Yeah, 100%. Unfortunately, Kenny said that O'Shea's injury, his ankle, is very bad. He said he was on crutches and sitting down on the training video they put up today in Portugal. So yeah, Matt Doherty, Omobamadiele, Egan, Duffy, Coleman. I think that's really strong. And then the aerial threats from Egan and Duffy, especially. Like,
yeah, I'd go for the back four and just take him, as harsh as it is, because Omobamadiele played brilliantly when he came on. I would take him out and leave Egan and Duffy as to centre back partnership, and then go Coleman to the right, Doherty on the left. And I don't think Doherty's naturally like a left full, but he played so well in that game. I think he's a better option than Manning and McLean as well. So yeah, for me, Doherty at left full. In terms of your three midfielders, then what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Cullen. Every minute I've seen from him in an Irish shirt, he's been looked the business. Like, so confident on the ball, so comfortable, finds his way out of pressure. Great spatial awareness as well about him. So I think he's dead on to start. McGrath, hopefully, he was so bright against Portugal. Like, his first competitive start, I think he only had 8 minutes versus Andorra previously, getting the assist. Put together a few great passes. He's dead on to start. And Malumbi, I'd like to see start as well. I think he was very good when he came on.
Yeah,
kind of just shirt things up in the middle. So then they might play a flat three. I think we did for the most part on Wednesday. Or you could have McGrath sitting just in front of Cullen and Malumbi. But yeah, you'd have 4 in the midfield then, would you?
So I'd go for kind of a 4-2-3-1. So I'll do the three
Oh
central
yeah,
players
yeah.
first. I actually agree with you. I'd go Cullen Malumbi in the holding position there, and then I'd go McGrath in the 10 in front of them as well. So I'd agree with you in terms of that midfield trio. That would be my trio. I think I'd take Jeff Hendrick out. I thought he was probably, you don't want to pick on anyone after the game because it was such a good performance, but he was probably the one player that didn't play well. Like he hasn't done it for us for a long time. I think Malumbi, Cullen, and McGrath, I think the three of them should be starting. He might go Hendrick again, but I think the ones that we want to see are the three we've named. In front the top two, then the front two, who would you go for your starting strikers?
Adam Ida, who I said it the other night, bossed Ruben Diaz and Pepe around. Like he didn't he didn't have many chances himself, but his hold up play and his pass and he dropped deep a good bit as well. He was superb. Like some of his touches, the way, like if we just smashed it, Route One cleared it, and he chased down every single ball and kind of worked his way out of trouble when I didn't think it was possible. I thought he had his best performance in Norwich to date on Wednesday. And I'd have Troy Parrott alongside him in place of Connolly. Kind of harsh on Connolly, but just the end product the other night. I know we should have got a penalty off one chance, but just the end product, I think he just took the wrong option one or two times, going for the shot himself when the square across the box is the better option. You're sacrificing a little bit of pace maybe, but Parrott's finishing. I know we don't have much to work off, but I think Parrott has 3 international goals, if I'm not mistaken. I think Connolly's yet to score for the seniors. Do you have Ida and Parrott? Would you be the same?
So I'd have a front three. So I'd have 2 wingers and a striker. I'd go with Ida down the centre as number 9, 100%. I thought he, as you said, absolutely superb the other night. Was fantastic and was a constant torn in Portugal side, which is crazy because he's come up against Pepe and Ruben Diaz, and as you're saying, takes the ball down so well. He's 6'2", 6'3", he's quick, he's strong, he kind of has everything about him. And I think if he gets to run of games at club level, you could really see him turn into a top striker. So I'd go Adam Ida on the through the middle. On the right hand side, I'd go with Darrell Horgan. I think I think he came on last night just briefly. I think towards the end, I think he might have done. Maybe he didn't, actually, I'm not sure, but he's been super for Ireland recently in the last couple of internationals. I thought he's been really good in that. Either side, actually, off the left or the right, gives us a good bit of pace, nice off either foot, skillful, can run with the ball. I think he could just getting someone on the ball that can run at a fullback, I think would be something that would be good for us. I think I maybe would have nice to have maybe an Ogbene, someone like that could have been nice for this game. So I think Darrell Horgan's probably the next best thing in terms of a player that can do that. On the left hand side, then I'd go for Troy Parrott just off to the left. I think in left wing. I know it's not a properly natural position for him, but I think in this game, I think just as you said, dropping Aaron Connolly, I think because they're playing a low block, the pace in behind isn't going to be as big a factor. It's more of what you can do in front of them. So the pace mightn't be as big a problem, really. And I think the quality on the ball, I think Troy Parrott is better on the ball than Aaron Connolly. I think in terms of finishing, in terms of maybe dribbling at the goal against Andorra, Troy Parrott, I know the level of opposition wasn't the highest, but you could see he kind of grabbed the game with a scruff of the neck, kind of got the ball, dribbled past the player. It's a great finish. I think he is a more natural goal scorer than Aaron Connolly. So I think I'd go with Troy Parrott off to the left as that kind of a goal threat. Matt Doherty overlapping them and stuff like that could work well. But it's an interesting one. It's going to be good. Obviously, we've gone with 2 different approaches there. A lot of the same players, but just different approaches. So it'll be interesting to see how Kenny goes about it. If I had to push you for a score prediction, Soccer, what would you be thinking?
Don't do this to me. 2-0. 2-0.
Nice.
So
yeah. I was thinking 2. I'll go 3 now because you said 2. I have to go 3. Have to go 3.
Just 1 or 2 other bits. Obviously Darragh Shea and Shane Long and out with injury, and Shane Long out with COVID. Nathan Collins and Ronan Curtis were not named on the substitute bench against Portugal. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's been a reason given. Unless they too many substitutions, but they might return, and there's a small chance we'll know in the next day or two Callum Robinson and Alan Brown may return after Robinson tested positive and Brown was isolating himself. So hopefully they might do a job off the bench. No arguments with them two teams there.
It'd be great to have the two of them back for Tuesday night as well. Even if they got a little bit of like 10-15 minutes against Azerbaijan, then they're kind of fully fit for Tuesday. It'd be great to have those two options, because they're two options that could easily walk into the starting 11. Two brilliant players for us. So yeah, to have them back in the mix would be ideal. And it's another sign of like Kenny hasn't had the strongest 11 to pick from, really, hasn't he? Not, or had the strongest squad.
Yeah, I think a lot of people saying on Twitter it was the 15th player he's lost to COVID, whether it's a positive case, isolating, whatever. The 15th player in a year. I don't think any other manager has had such bad luck. But yeah, Robinson and Brown, you'd expect if they were both fit and training, they both might have started against Portugal. Probably might have started against Azerbaijan. So it'd be great to have them back. Fingers crossed. But the main thing is they're both kind of healthy and safe, you know.
No, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, I think that's more or less everything. And touched on more or less everything there, I think, haven't we, for the Azerbaijan game? You're heading into it, aren't you? Doing stuff for extra time. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for an article, post-match article, isn't it? Post-match.
Yeah, post-match report. My first time in the Viva at a senior Ireland game. Very excited. So hopefully I'll have a little more I'll be able to add a little bit more insight to the few videos we do. So bit of goss or whatever, you know. So.
Lovely stuff. We'll be coming out with plenty more content leading into the Serbia game. Probably do a bit of reaction after the Azerbaijan game as well. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like on the video. If you can hit around the 50 like mark, that would be fantastic. And please do subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in a bit.